turned a very serious event into a I'm trying not to laugh during the eulogy.
Oh no.
So, yeah. All right, we're live. So, we'll do the clap. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Hunters Hub, the video game podcast born of the Monster Hunter community. Tonight we're talking our video game news, but we're probably mostly talking bullcrap and stuff because there was not a lot of news. So, this is your host, Fortuan. Welcome, Sasha. Welcome back from your Monster Hunter break.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Had some sad news this week, but overall, still pretty good. I mentioned a little bit on the podcast. My grandmother wasn't doing too well. She did pass away, and we had the funeral this week and everything. But it was a memorable funeral. Got to see some family I hadn't seen in a while, and my daughter made it outright hilarious at times because, well, she's 5 and doesn't care. So.
He's too young to care about death. Infant mortality rates, they don't exist anymore.
She legit said she's dead, Jim, to me. She
legit. Oh my god, no!
Because
I love that.
She
You got a good kid.
That's like a meme with them. They keep saying it when something dies on a game or something. So like someone died in real life, and then she's like, she's dead, Jim. I was like, Emery, you can't say that right now.
Oh, that is great. I love that.
So, welcome back, Ace. How we doing tonight?
Good to be back. Got a BLT that I'll be crunching on throughout the show. Got a half a corn cob that I'll be trying not to spill butter on myself with.
Okay. Just imagine you just eating a corn cob on stream. Just that, man, the audio on that would probably be really.
And then once I'm done with it, I'll start carving it into a corncob pipe.
Oh, okay.
Classy.
And welcome back, Morg. How you doing, bud?
I am absolutely stellar. I'm so happy to be back after my big, long-ass hiatus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good to be here again.
Alrighty. So, let me say some more Emeryisms that happened, because it's just insane what she said. So we're sitting there. There's all sorts of crazy things with this service. Now, I would like to say it was a beautiful service overall, pretty good. It was it wasn't an easy loss for us, but Emery did brighten the mood quite a bit. There was this thing talking about this that was very religious. My grandmother was very religious, so her preacher was basically doing a sermon, which I felt, I don't know. I if that's what she wanted, that's what she wanted. Like, I would have felt more talking about her life and that kind of stuff, and it was more just a sermon.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about how when the body goes away, the spirit eyes open, and then I look to my daughter, and she's doing this, and she's like, "Daddy, look at my spirit eyes."
Oh my god.
And I'm like, Emery? Shush.
You can't be doing this right now.
So I was bribing them with Minecraft coins to behave, because she was just like, I was like, Emery, another thing, you're not getting your Minecraft mods. And she's like, okay. So she sat there. Chance, while he was sitting there, he had a spider crawl down his head and rappel off his eye, like his eyebrow. He was just like, like,
this is almost like
caused a scene.
This is almost like sitcom levels of funeral. Like, I don't know if you ever watched 2.5 Men back in the day, but there was like the one episode where they go to the funeral, and then like Jake leaves his like Game Boy inside the coffin when he goes up and looks at the body, and then they close the coffin, and you can hear like the game music very muffledly playing in the background, and everyone's like, what the hell?
Oh, we had no less than 4 phones go off during this sermon. Like, there was some people behind me, there were some people across the room. Like, I mean, have it on vibrate for Pete's sake. Like, at least. Charles got like 2 work calls he didn't answer because it was during the day. It was during a work day, a Thursday. And we're like, yeah, no one's working today. We're not doing anything. But we had a very persistent customer who was like, we need help now. And he's just like, fuck off. We're doing something else. And the last thing that Emery said, she said this at the very beginning. So everyone, it was open casket. We got to see her and everything. And Emery started to walk up. And she went, no, I don't want to see her. And I was like, okay. It's a little rough, seeing someone. And she was like, she's a vampire. She has a coffin. And I was like, Emery, just because they have a coffin doesn't mean they're a vampire.
Oh my god.
And then she kept saying, Grandma Geek's a vampire. Like, I was just like, nope, she's not. So
that's why you pre-plan ahead. You get red underglow LEDs on the bottom of the coffin, and you get a fog machine that just starts emanating fog from under it.
It's not going to help anyone for
That's a cool idea. I might do it for mine.
I don't know if you see it, but there's like a TikTok that has gone around. It was like at this funeral, and this guy had pre-recorded a bunch of audio, and it was basically just him being like, hey, why is it so dark? Hey, let me out of here. So like making the mood a little bit lighter at his own funeral by having it situated like he was alive and stuck in the casket.
That's interesting, at least. Yeah, I think this crowd would have been too serious to do that. And then the last thing was we were outside for the final portion. We're at the gravesite where they actually, lower the coffin down. And Emery was just not behaving, so I just picked her up and put her on my shoulders. So her hands are resting on my head. And I'm going bald back here. I have a bald spot. And she's like feeling my head because the new haircut, and she wants to feel my hair. And then she's like, out loud, super loud, and just basically yelling. She's like, Daddy, you're going bald! And I'm like, again, you're supposed to be quiet because the preacher is talking. You need to...
I don't care about him, Daddy.
Right? Like...
Kids are just great, aren't they? Oh, man. They're just wonderful.
So that was a fun experience Thursday. And then I wasn't supposed to have them until today because they had a baseball thing, but Cece was like, I don't want to do that. I want to go home with you. So they just came home with me. So, and we've been gaming and watching stuff ever since, and a lot of Monster Hunter has been had. I don't have any Monster Hunter news. I don't think we want to spoil anything quite yet. It's only been 2 weeks, if that, right? Like, it's been out a week and a half?
A week?
A week? Has it been?
Because hold on. No,
yeah,
maybe
it's a
2
week and a
weeks.
day.
Yeah, it's been about that, yeah.
I'm getting my... things have been so crazy. We barely worked. Like, the only real work day, we were just in West Virginia all day. And came back. Because...
I mean, as with any launch of a Monster Hunter game, my perception of time goes straight out the fucking window. But I will say this is the first Monster Hunter game launch that I have not specifically requested off for, and I kind of regretted it.
I didn't have to. We just been dealing with family stuff the whole time, so like we have downtime and we play together, Chance and I, or we're just at home because we can't do stuff. So yeah, it's been a crazy week for us in the family, and it led to a lot of Monster Hunter time. So so for the news tonight, I only have one story because the news this week was very light and I was focused on other things. Sasha, you said you only had a couple.
Yeah, not much.
more gear first week back and new to this format. So if you have something to talk about, that's great. If you don't, I understand. It was a terrible news week.
Oh boy. Yeah. There's been quite a lot going on. Where do I even begin? Without the cats going absolutely haywire around here. Please settle down. Shh. Calm. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Life's been just going pretty fast. Recently, the Rogers network actually crashed all across Canada, and people had no access to any of their debit cards. People couldn't use their phones. I couldn't get into the system, and I'm currently working as like the assistant manager for the produce department in retail.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, a large portion of our work actually involves using these like little computer guns, you know, the ones that you can scan barcodes and stuff like that, but then you also can like punch stuff in order to be able to get into the system. And I couldn't get into the system. It was just the weirdest thing. Like, I'd never experienced that with the guns before. And then I realized, wait, and I was talking with the assistant manager of the store, and he and I came to the conclusion that because our system runs on Rogers as well, we couldn't do anything. So I couldn't do half of the paperwork. So I think I had like another 3 hours where there was nothing for me to do. And usually on, you know, when I'm working those days normally, I can't get anything done because there's just not enough time in the day to be able to get everything done.
Right.
So being able to go home early was really nice. I'm sorry for everybody who couldn't use their phones or pay for anything, but your inconvenience is my reward.
Yeah.
Fort's familiar with not being able to use card recently.
Yeah. I talked about that a little bit before the show, where I lost my debit card because of the bank breach that, you know, 800-ish people at our bank were got their cards compromised. And there was like I think they said one of my cases was one of the worst, where they had tried to charge Microsoft Vanity Fair and all this stuff that I don't normally go to. There was over 100 fraudulent attempts on my card, and only one went through. So it was like
Wow.
$10 at a Microsoft store, like, which I don't. Sure, I have a Microsoft account, but like I used it to play Halo Infinite in the winter. That was it. Like,
yeah, recently I had to freeze and cancel and reorder a new card for myself because I got these card decline notices or transaction decline notices, and there was one in like Louisiana, and then like several continued attempts from like a university catering service in Pennsylvania.
hmm.
That is so weird.
Yeah,
So
that's a long distance.
I'm gonna pause this and get a new card, because I don't know if it's specifically someone has my card number or if someone's entering their card wrong. Either way, I'm gonna play it safe.
Fair.
Sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah.
I think the only case where I've actually just recently had a fraud alert was when I decided, well, you know, I might as well tell everybody anyways. But yeah, I decided that, you know, as a nice present for my girlfriend, I would decide to get the couples pack for, like, you know how you can get like if you buy like I think like a square foot of land in Scotland, you can get a lady or lordship title.
Yes.
I decided to get the couples pack for that, and then so in that way we get, like, you know, the frame and everything for it. So yeah, I figured it'd be a nice present, and it cost like only $276.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a nice little novelty, and then all of a sudden my phone goes up, bloop, fraudulent alert. $276 is missing from your account. Was this you? And I go, boop, 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 boop. Yes. And it goes, okay, it's all good.
It's not as bad as when I bought that Monster Hunter CD from Japan and they closed my bank account.
Well, that's
Oh yeah, I
too,
remember this.
it can depend on where it charges from,
Right.
because it doesn't always charge it from a United States location.
Mm-hmm.
And even sometimes when it does, it can throw you off. Case in point, there was a time where I bought posters from a poster sale that we were having in our university union, and it charged it through Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So that completely threw me off, and I thought it was a fraudulent charge. And I realized like a week later that the company name was the same company that was selling the posters, and I was like, oh,
Oops.
I accidentally just got posters for free. Whoops. My bad.
Sorry, I scammed you out of money.
I mean, it was just my bank,
Yeah.
No problems there. But that was like $27 or something like that. So
Yeah.
if they ask me for that in the future, if they watch this somehow and connect the dots, I'd be happy to pay it back.
I know I have that CD around here somewhere. I'd have to probably plug in my CD thing. I don't know. I still have that Monster Hunter CD that closed my bank account. I hate Fifth Third.
It's a great memoir. It's like a little what would you refer to it as? It's like a little segment of a time capsule right there. You get to embrace the whole emotional experience of having your bank account closed every time you listen to each track.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fond memories.
I think that's funny. They didn't just temporarily lock down your account. They were just like, nah, nuke the whole thing.
Yeah. Essentially. Yeah, and I was trying to pay for lunch at Kroger's, and it's just like, no, it's not working. No. I was like,
wipe it.
I'm sorry.
Execute Order 66.
What? I mean, I got things straightened out eventually, but it took a while. It took them a while because they were like, no, you can't be charging things with Japan. That's unfortunate. Like, you can't do that. And I'm like, but I did this. And that was the worst part of it is I called beforehand to allow it. Like, hey, I'm going to do this. Please allow this. No, close everything down. So I'll talk about my little news story I found, which is more on. I talked a little bit about Diablo Immortal, playing it and how I'm done with it, and we talked about how people are still done with it, and there was like a $27,000 gem that people threw away, and so now people are even more leaving it, and you know what? A lot of them are leaving it for.
What? Tell me.
Diablo 3, the game that's been around since 2014. With expansion 2012 if you don't count expansion, because season 27 has pulled in more people directly from Diablo Immortal than any other source. Well, it's
Diablo Immortal. Like, I'm surprised that it is as successful as it is right now, given the bad rep that it had when it was first debuted. With the guy.
See,
you guys have phones, don't you?
Oh yeah, it was bad from the start, but it kind of made this redemption arc where they started actually talking about the game itself and how it was like, okay, this is kind of cool, and then you got to the monetization, and people are like, no, bye, out, goodbye.
Well, I think there are whales out there that have actually assessed how much an account would be worth playing that game, and some guy was like, oh yeah, this is easily at least $500,000 worth of investment, just for one person. And I'm thinking $500,000 for one person to play this game, just to be able to optimize their rewards at the end, the RNG system. It's like, remember when you used to only ever have to buy a game once and it came as the full package, you got it a hard disk or you got a cartridge and you just played the game. You only made the one transaction just to get it. And then you played it through, you beat it, and you were fine with that. Does anybody remember when that used to be a thing?
I mean, it could still be a thing these days.
But also, bridging off of that and the frustration train that is pay to win mechanics. Is from a couple weeks back, but Ted Cruz admitted that he's a shitty gamer because he said in an interview that he it's either mobile games or some other games that he plays where they have like items that you can buy for the game and it makes your game easier, and sometimes I'll just go and do that, and I'm like,
My
got
God.
it. So you're a shitty gamer.
You have to remind me, is Ted Cruz that crazy Texas governor?
He's
Okay.
senator.
Okay.
It is
He's a Zodiac
Abbott.
killer.
That's the governor.
Yeah, Zodiac killer. Oh my God. Oh, why does it also remind me of that one guy? What was it? He was like a Dark Souls player who, he was getting into Rise, and like he was like just doing nothing but shit talking the game, and then like he ended up like rage quitting to which one?
Was it Kazoo?
Hey, it's Zeus.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, I don't know why that reminds me of that. And when I was online and I was like, guys, you need to take it easy on him, okay? You have to understand, he's not built with the mindset, to play these Monster Hunter games, like it takes a certain skill level, and I think what he should do is rather than play Monster Hunter is play something that is more custom to his style, like what was it, Raid Shadow Legends, or and then like I was just popping off the tops of all these mobile games, and then immediately blocked me. He didn't even bother to have the conversation with me.
Nice. So Sasha, to explain, Kazoo is a fairly easy early monster, and this Dark Souls streamer just couldn't handle it and bashed the game publicly, and people jumped all over him. It became a big fight on Twitter for a while.
Which is weird too, because he played World for a substantial amount of time and used the Switch Axe, and he was using Charge Blade, and he was using the Charge Blade in the playthrough that he was going through, but he was playing it like it was still World and not like using any of the wire bug mechanics, even though like the game guides you through that and tells you how to use it. So he was essentially like
he was like me,
locking himself to the ground.
Yeah. He was basically nerfing himself. I commend him. That's true gamer prowess there. Playing a game without utilizing any of the mechanics to make the game easier. That's a Chad move. Okay, I'm not gonna bust his balls over that.
And then he just went the troll route of like saying that it's a trash game, and if you like it, you like bad games and stuff like that. And then I don't know if you've caught wind of it at all, Morg, but have you at all seen the drama around Quantum TV?
No, actually, I haven't. What's been going on with that?
So this is, I would say, a similar thing to that.
Oh no.
Well, it's kind of reached its conclusion now, I think.
Ace has been talking about this for like 2 months.
Depth levels of drama, or like with publicized court cases and like lawyers that are just basically circus clowns.
Quantum TV is an AV tech reviewer, so he does like TV reviews and stuff like that. And he calls himself a calibrator, even though he's not licensed at all, because calibrators actually go out to people's homes and adjust like TV settings and lighting specs for specific rooms and conditions. He just sells one size fits all settings for TVs, even though that doesn't necessarily get people the best picture for said room or said experience. He also does video game reviews, but as other people have pointed out, pretty sure he doesn't actually play the game, because his review for Horizon Forbidden West was just completely inaccurate, in my opinion. And then he made a review for Elden Ring in which he said any video game that is not for everyone is a video game that shouldn't be made. So people took issue with that. But then he also decided to
that means no video
content
games
strike.
Get made, period, because not any game is good for everyone. Like
right, and then he started
Oh,
And
I
then
was going to say that. Yeah.
he started copyright striking a bunch of smaller creators that were like criticizing that opinion
Oh
and stuff.
no! Is it?
And then
Didn't
that,
he like get
Really?
G-Man Lives off the channel? Is it G-Man or it's not G-Man, or is it what's the other guy?
Man,
Act Man. Yeah, because I listened to both of them and they have very
yeah.
similar voices. So Act Man, he got
So
Act Man off of YouTube almost, or
no,
Twitter.
well, not off of YouTube. He got his channel content striked.
Gotcha.
Which I think once you get 2, then your channel is terminated. Um,
3. It's
but
3, I believe.
like,
I don't know. Morg would know better.
Yeah,
He had
it was a
I'm not too
3-strike
familiar.
system.
Morg was
um,
more of a YouTuber
but-
than all of us.
The Act
Yeah,
Man,
if you get 3 strikes, you're done. I
Yeah,
think there's
like-
like a probationary period as well, so yeah, you got to watch out for that.
yeah, the Act Man, Rich over Retech USA, even Charlie Moist Critical, Mudahar, a bunch of like bigger like tech sphere YouTubers and like gaming YouTubers caught wind of like that behavior, and Quantum just kept playing it off like people hate him because of his take on Elden Ring, when it's because he's content striking people falsely and claiming that they don't have the right to use his image and his audio and stuff when they're criticizing him. So that falls
Oh.
under fair use.
It does, yeah.
Same as
So
if,
yeah,
you know,
basically what he is he's just a big baby who can't take criticism from other people, but he can go out of his way to criticize other things.
but here's the
Yeah.
thing: the rabbit hole opened up because as what happens a lot today, people then started to go, "Who the fuck is this guy?" So people like Rich started looking into it and started looking at his socials, and he has a long history of making homophobic, anti-LGBTQ posts, both on his Facebook page that no longer exists, his Twitter page that no longer exists, and his former YouTube channel, which got deleted for hate
Oh.
speech. So he's ban evading. So a bunch of people got wind of all this, and even in one of the Twitter posts, it was about in reference to Last of Us Part 2, and he was saying like, why couldn't you guys be Pulse victims, referring to the Pulse nightclub shooting in Florida. So the whole thing just ballooned into so much more than anyone ever thought it could be. Actman made some really good videos on the whole saga, and then he made like a final video on like why he feels that YouTube should remove Quantum from the platform for like the ban evading links, external links that he spams all over his stuff. He has like several other channels besides the one that got deleted. So he's got Quantum TV. He for a while had Chemical XJ9, which was like a gaming channel. Now it's like The Inconvenient Truth or something like that, or Unconventional Truth or some stupid shit like that. And YouTube came back and said they found no reason for him to be taken off, because all he does is spew this shit out, and then like his Twitter, like his Facebook page, he deletes all that stuff. And he's gone
Naturally.
through on his channel and he's deleted like hundreds of thousands and millions of views worth of videos. And so they came back and said, no, it's fine, whatever. And so Actman, like, sort of heat of the moment, kind of being pissed off at, not
YouTube.
having that stuff being taken seriously by YouTube when it's in their terms and conditions, made like a series of satirical posts being like, oh, feeling cute might spread misinformation and hate speech later. Oh, feeling cute might go and dox YouTube family members and stuff, because that's a thing that Quantum did too. He actually called Actman's mother.
Oh, wow.
He or one of his Discord members went and found their information, tried to call him, number didn't go through, then called another number, happened to be his mom, that went through, and he tried to get her to go and give him Actman's number and stuff like that. didn't work. She didn't go for it, and then she called back like a few minutes after to like be like, "Are you serious? Is this like, are you who you say you are? Are you actually like contacting me about this?" Because that's like a what the hell is going on type of scenario.
Right.
And YouTube went and like guideline struck him for the obviously satirical but in poor taste threat to dox YouTube, create YouTube employees and their family members and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
wow.
so Actman, I think, is currently just like taking a break, or he's going to get back to regular content soon. As I haven't looked into anything lately, but as far as I know, it's the whole situation is sort of
Yeah.
dead in the water. But as seems to be the case, as discussed with other actual AV tech YouTubers that actually are calibrators, like certified and actually like do that as a day job. He seems to just go and find beef with people to get views and get attention and get followers and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts popping up again in like 6 months or something like that, because it's just within his nature, it seems.
Yeah.
What an absolute godforsaken circus it's been since I've been gone. Oh my god.
Well, that's just drama like completely removed from Monster Hunter that like I've been following since the beginning. Like, I don't know, 4 months ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
All you YouTubers and social media freaks out there, you all need a touch of God. That's what you need. Where's that Kevin Copeland? That's who they need right now. That's what we need. Little Kevin Copeland, that televangelist, he needs to blow the wind of God on them all.
Freaky. Have you seen the video of him at like his own private airport being interviewed by the reporter, and he gets like he has like the White Walker eyes, and he like
yeah. Oh my God, yeah, they're insane eyes. They're so funny. Holy crap, I love him. He is fantastic. Oh, if we could all aspire to be more like Kevin Copeland, I feel like the world would be a much better place.
Wow.
Yeah. God, I need a coffee right now. You know what? Forget the cup. Just hook me up to an IV right now. Just stick me full of caffeine. I'll be good.
But also, in other Activision news, Bobby Kotick was elected back onto the board.
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
I was like, this doesn't surprise me. Nothing around Bobby Kotick or Activision surprises me anymore. It's just old guard, maintain old guard.
Yeah.
If they could make a good video game, I'll be happy. That's all they need. That's all I want. Just a good game with no microtransactions. Just make me happy.
Yeah,
don't they hold both Crash and Spyro? They hold both of those franchises.
Yeah.
Oh, really? They have Naughty Dog titles.
The old ones, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what was it?
Yeah, because they did Skylanders.
I completely lost my train of thought.
Okay, yeah.
Bobby Kotick.
Yeah, and Skylanders has that similar art style. And I think they do actually have like characters that are modeled similarly to Spyro and I think Crash. So yeah, it does make sense.
They did do Crash 4 recently, which seemed to do very well. So I don't know if it has microtransactions or not, but so Sasha, what are one of your news stories while Ace disappears to figure out what he was saying?
Oh, let's see. Well, something kind of cool. So the State Department, the United States government, has done something kind of cool.
Okay.
They are doing a study on video game diplomacy with students, high school students. So the first year of it has concluded. They have 450 students across the United States, Israel, United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain. And they had them participating in a 10-week program where they had a choice of 170 video games. with 3 shared video conference calls between international peers. And what they're looking to do was try to promote the idea of people from other countries creating video games for other audiences, as well as people within the United States creating video games for international audiences.
Yeah.
And kind of getting teens to talk to each other to realize that they have a lot more in common than they realize. So the overall looks like the results have been positive, but it is still pretty early. They plan to keep doing this. And the other thing I thought was interesting about it was that it is funded by the United States Department and the Bezos Family Foundation, which is Jackie Bezos, not Jeff Bezos.
Oh, okay.
With her.
Hey, Lex Luthor does not have control.
Yeah. So she's using her
further funding to kill Superman.
She's using his money for good. So.
Okay. I like the positive news.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. I will say, with the only thing I had was the Diablo Immortal stuff because of that. But there was one other Blizzard thing that came up, and I am surprised that it's a news story because I think I've heard this before. But they've stopped all new content on Heroes of the Storm. Blizzard has, so they've stopped development on it. And I thought this had already happened, so this is why I was a little surprised. Like, I thought they had already stopped content for Heroes of the Storm, but I guess not. So,
well, I mean, it is kind of a popular MOBA game for them, you know. What else does Blizzard have as far as MOBAs? Do they have anything else?
Nope, that was the one. There's only really, to my knowledge, like 4 really big MOBAs. And that's League of Legends,
let me see. There's
Dota, Smite, and then Heroes of the Storm. And
yeah,
I don't know.
What happened to Pokemon Unite? Is Pokemon Unite dead? Are there still players?
I think a lot of people really liked it to begin with, and I haven't heard a peep about it since.
I missed the Grievant cheese. Oh my god. That was so funny. You know, whenever they're jungle sniping, it's like, oh, somebody stole my jungle kill. It was that Grievant. No. Oh, what was it? I think it was like Wolfie VGC, the old world champion. He tried that strat and he got pretty far in a tournament. It was really, really funny.
No,
what a troll.
I thought about trying it, and then I heard about all the terrible microtransactions in it, and I was like, nope, out, not doing it. Nope.
I mean, you can play it for free, but, you know, it's a little bit trickier that way. Kind of like how I was with Top War. I found myself actually spending money on it, and then I realized, wait, this is very unhealthy. I better get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny because I think it was in our Alliance chat. Yeah, I spent most of the time there just talking about all the decadent, delicious treats I would make. Oh, and then they dubbed me the name Food Pimp.
There you go.
It was great.
And that's why that's what you were on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then I think I changed my profile pic from all the different foods that I was making to just Rajang, and then I called myself Jang Pimp. People found it a little off-putting.
Okay.
Because I guess Golden Monkey was just not their style.
It's true. It's oh no. So DBZ, right? Dragon Ball Z. You're aware of this, Sasha, right?
The Super Simian. Yes.
So Rajang is a thing in Monster Hunter that's a monkey that turns golden when he gets angry. So not that much different from Goku. Today they officially they didn't officially. I'm exaggerating, but today I feel like the veil of that this isn't Goku is just gone, because they did an intro for a variant for Rajang and it says Rajang, the Super Simian, and I was like
They knew what they were doing. They knew it.
It's totally confirmed now that it's just Goku with horns.
Well, I mean, they did the same thing with Shogun Senator. He's referred to as the Final Flash.
Yeah, it's true.
Final Flash.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, if we're looking at like Dragon Ball lore, I mean, like, Saiyans, under the light of the full moon or whatever, they transform into a giant monkey that can shoot lasers out of its mouth. So I mean, and I think in GT there's the Golden Arzaru.
Right, and if you cut off its tail, he can't do it anymore, which is a thing in the game.
Yep.
So yeah.
So
I hadn't been able to watch a lot of things lately, Sasha, but I was thinking about you because I almost wanted to rewatch Our Flag Means Death, just because it was so funny.
It's so good.
If you guys have if you haven't seen it yet, you need to see it. Ace.
I'm
I
going
hope
to be
it's
starting
as
that
good as
soon. Recently, I started watching The Wire, which is a pretty old TV show, but I've heard it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like all Taika Waititi content, I'm pretty sure I'll get around to all of it at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've even watched the skits, the early skits of the What We Do in the Shadows stuff.
Yeah.
Where he's wearing like those uncomfortable fake vampire teeth, where it's like the clamshell stuff, and not like the actual like
the
jelly
good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did get to watch.
It's coming out this week, I think. The third season of the TV show.
Okay.
There's nothing quite like like listening to a vampire talk where it sounds like his mouth is full of marbles. That's the best.
So
it's right up there with Waterworld. Oh, what a great film! So underrated. Or Battlefield Earth. I mean, Battlefield Earth is probably one of the best films I've seen John Travolta do, aside from Face Off. Face Off, he was amazing. Like, I have never known anybody to be so good an actor that they could out Nicolas Cage. Like, what? But then in Battlefield Earth, he plays as aliens where they have this crazy Sasquatch head. They've got dreadlocks coming out of the back, green eyes, a crazy flicky tongue, and they're all hopped up on Mountain Dew. It is probably the best film. Actually, is it the best film I've ever seen? I don't know.
It's one of Chris Stuckman's Hilariosity reviews, so.
I mean, it's great. I mean, the fact that like it's about like aliens that like bombed like human civilization into like the caveman. So there's no explanation as to why humans are making all these monkey noises half the time. Where when they're stressed, they're like, ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, it's like the weirdest thing. And the best part is like when he's like trying to escape the aliens or whatever, and he goes around the corner or whatever, and there's a chain link fence. So what does he do? He just jumps up onto the damn thing, and he's got like his toes and his fingers into the chain link, shaking it, going ah. It was like. Oh my! It's just screeching like a monkey. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen a grown man do.
Also, the hero runs in some of the weirdest ways I've seen. Where like he's literally like,
where he's like, oh my god! Yeah, it was the
like that. Like what? I mean, I get that they're like de-evolved and like de-civilized human beings, but like I don't think that they'd run like they're. Like, I don't know, a windmill or something.
One of the best parts is when they like hook him up to the machine that gives him like a massive amount of knowledge, and then he teaches the other cavemen people on how to be able to like pilot alien fighter jets. I'm like, whoa, this movie's amazing! It's so stupid, but it's amazingly stupid.
Yeah.
Oh,
like just. Because that movie, like with a lot of movies, I like to watch vicariously through content creators. And Chris Stuckman pointed out how absurd that is, that like they basically give him the tools to defeat them.
Yeah.
Because they upload him with like all this intelligence and
They basically
From there,
Matrix
it's just
injected his
downhill.
brain with knowledge, and then he's just like, he's basically Keanu Reeves going, I know Kung Fu. Except with him, it's like, I know their language, I know their technology, I know everything about them that just makes them, like all their weaknesses. It's like, we can beat them. And there's all the other cavemen like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, let's do that, It's just, man, it's just the most ridiculous film I'd ever seen. So good.
Yeah, and they
Definitely
also,
worth a
John
watch.
Travolta and his cohorts do all the egregious evil villain laughter in that movie.
Oh my god, oh man.
I'm lost. Are you Sasha? Because I've never seen this movie.
Just watch Chris Stuckman's Hilariosity review. That's all you need.
It is so amazing. Oh god, yes. You have to see this movie. It is so
I've never heard
bad.
anyone share this opinion.
It is so horrendously
it was a book written by Ron L. Hubbard or L. Ron Hubbard or whatever his name is.
Was he the guy who invented Scientology or something like that? Yeah, that's the one.
John Travolta's in it. I'm surprised they didn't also get Tom Cruise.
I'm surprised too.
Could handle it. So I think that the plan for that movie was that there was going to be more than one, but they
could have made him the hero. He at least would have ran better than the guy they put in.
Run like an ape.
Oh boy.
No, but we talking about the way that the evil villain laugh, it makes me really want now to see a supercut of like the Grease guys, but with the villain laughter from Battlefield Earth over the top of it.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, yes.
People criticizing frickin' modern high school shows being like, oh, the actors look so old. Bro, the actors in Grease look like they're ready for prostate exams and like all that stuff.
Yeah, why do they keep hiring 30-year-olds to do the jobs of 18-year-olds? I don't know.
Maybe
talk to me about why everybody in Greece looks like they're in their 50s.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe because they can actually act. Like, I assume hiring a bunch of teenagers to do a movie is just as bad as it sounds.
Tell me more, tell me more.
Y'all ready for some world news that actually links to video game content?
Sure. Do it. Yes.
So, I'm sure as we have all seen, current/former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, was assassinated by a guy with like a homemade shotgun type thing.
I did not see this.
Apparently, which is crazy because that's like
terrible.
The first time in a long time I think that like a political like leader has been assassinated in world history, as far as I can remember. At least it's been a while.
Well, isn't gun violence kind of rare there?
Yeah.
Well, considering guns are completely illegal.
Yeah.
Apparently the second shooting death in Japan this year, as opposed to us where it's just like open season.
Yeah, daily.
Weekly, daily. But oddly enough, apparently a bunch of news agencies, instead of using the captured suspect, which I've seen multiple pictures of in the articles, used pictures of Hideo Kojima.
Yes, I saw this.
Oh my god, no. Are you kidding
pictures
me?
Of the actual like suspected shooter. They used pictures of Hideo Kojima. So like he and his company are like threatening legal action to anyone who like continues that, and I would say understandably so.
Yeah.
Because like that's a horrible thing to be associated with for no fucking reason. And I don't understand like if news agencies in Japan do things a little bit differently, if they're allowed to just go and be loosey-goosey with reference photos or just like establishing photos, but that is insane. That'd be like if some random guy went and killed Biden and then like they had a picture of Tom Cruise as the killer. You'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, not only is it excessively racist, but I mean, like, it's also extremely like defamatory. Like, you can't really do that. Like, he could make lawsuits against that easy.
I don't think it was racist. I think it's just Japanese news agencies are being lazy.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Is it Kojima Japanese? Am I right in that?
Yeah, he is. Okay, well, I mean, if it's Japanese news agencies, then I suppose, then it isn't racist. But I mean, like, if it were like Fox News or something like that, yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, no, let's not get started on Fox News, please. I had to watch that one night. I'm good. What
about Intelligence Wars with Alex Jones? The quality news,
Here was my experience.
He's gone irrelevant. We don't need to talk about him anymore.
I still love Alex Jones. He's just so ridiculous.
My experience was I went to this. So I used to be part of a church when I lived in Dayton, and I was on the church board, and there was this big thing for like a. I've talked a little bit about this, where like I Wingardium Leviosa said some woman, and she thought I was a witch, and like all sorts of stuff. So I went on this like guys weekend with everybody to go to this convention about literally a piece of software that just finds pornography on your machine and like calls you bad for having it on there, and it's like, do you trust your family? If you trust God, you would put this on your machine. And I was like, holy cow, are you just trying to sell spyware to people who don't know better? That sounds fishy.
Oh my God,
sounds like a licensed virus.
Yeah,
because
that's
just
what basically what it is.
So
oh my
but
God.
it was like faith-based software. Like they kept saying that, and it was just like, I don't. What are we doing? Like, this is, and me being I was an actual computer programmer at the time, actually working with software. I was like, no, don't do this.
I could maybe give it a pass if it operated like you search up a site and you try to open it and then it just pops up the bruh Jesus picture.
No, it was supposed to search your whole computer and everything. Like they went into like details and stuff, and I was just like, okay, this is just, don't do this, people. Like, the people in my group that was with me, I was like, don't do this. This will ruin your computer. And he's like, well, you gotta have faith. And I'm like, it's not about faith. They're doing something to your computer, and I don't trust them.
Well, see, I would say the larger argument isn't about faith. I would say it's about parenting.
Let's not even get it. It's not even the story. All right, it's not even close to where we're supposed to be going. So I have to stay in the room. So we have rooms, right? So 2 single beds. Yeah. I'm staying with this older guy. I don't remember his name right now. He was a really awesome guy. Most people that I met in that group were. They were just, uninformed or, stuck in their ways or whatever you want to say, right? And
yeah,
he's like, hey, I'm sitting there, open up my 3DS. I am playing Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, right? Like, this is my entertainment. I don't expect to take up the TV. I have something to do. We're there, staying the night. And he's like, you don't mind if I watch the Fox News, do you? And it's like, no, don't mind at all. Like, I had never seen it, but I had heard it was terrible and stuff. And then I think it was the Roper Report that comes on. And it was literally like, hey, we have opposing views. And they're like, here comes left guy, and here comes right guy. Or what I don't even know. No, wait, it's not the Roper Report. It's something else. It's someone, Bill O'Reilly, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
so he's this older guy. He was super conservative, right? Like all the way, right? And they bring on this point of view, and this guy starts talking, and then host starts yelling at the other guy, telling him like what he believes, and not even listening to what the other guy is saying. Guy starts talking, cuts a commercial. Rinse and repeat for 2 hours. And I'm like,
oh my God.
And I was like, I was failing my hunts on the 3DS because I was so dumbfounded by how awful the show was. And I was like, wait, I'm not even saying if the guy has a good point or not. You're not even listening. You're just yelling at him for 20 minutes and then cutting a commercial before you could say anything.
Oh my
It doesn't
god.
even matter what your point is, good or bad. It doesn't matter what his point, good or bad, is. This is just a train wreck. Oh
You're
my,
telling me, oh my god.
oh my.
Yeah,
I was like,
I think
I'm never watching any of this again. I put on
It
headphones.
sounds like an absolute riot is what it sounds like. It sounds like almost like something like Eric Andre would come up with. Oh my god.
It's what's the closest thing I've seen
unfortunately,
to it
that's
is Between Two Ferns. That's the closest thing I've seen to it.
yeah. If you want to see a good interview or a good debate, I would recommend watching Bill O'Reilly and Jon Stewart's debate from I think like 2016, 2017 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Very funny on Jon Stewart's and very very cringeworthy on Bill O'Reilly's part.
I bet he just got
'Cause
mad because I'm
as
pretty sure it was
Bill-
Bill O'Reilly that I saw on this thing.
Yeah, because Bill O'Reilly is like a tall guy.
Mhm.
We know that, and Jon Stewart is shorter than him. When they begin at their podiums, like if they need it, there's like an actual platform that they stand upon, and it's like a mini scissor lift. So Jon Stewart, like at the beginning, like raises his platform like super high, and then at one point, Bill O'Reilly's making like a really stupid or like short-sighted, one-sided argument, and Jon Stewart like no, like raises the platform to like express dominance over him, and I was just
Oh
like,
my god.
oh, that's great. I miss Jon Stewart on the Daily Show.
You can't
But
do that forever.
that debate was very good.
I'm sure as fun as that could be, I'm sure that job is also super stressful.
Oh yeah, and Trevor Noah is great as well, but I can't imagine staying on that show for much longer than he already was, because he was like what, almost 2 decades or something
Yeah.
like that, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And now he's doing stuff on Apple, I think, or maybe HBO. But yeah, super smart guy, and I really like him because I don't know if you guys are familiar, but he fought a lot with the first responders from 9/11 to get the Zadraga bill and the healthcare bills passed for them, because a lot of the Republican politicians that like to valor salute and him and haw over first responders and stuff like that, and Blue Lives Matter and all that, were dragging their heels on approving the bill that would get these men and women the funding they need to save them from life-threatening illnesses.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of them did pass away before they could get that passed. So I really respect him for that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Okay.
I was going to say, if you want to find really funny debates, you could always watch the CBC program, The Debaters, where they literally put two Canadian comics against each other to argue about, which side pancakes or waffles, which one makes the better breakfast,
Mhm.
or are bagpipes even an instrument, or what's another one, are the Beatles overrated? There were a bunch of them actually that they did. I don't even know how many episodes there are. I think there must be like 300 episodes, and they would have it playing on the radio, and oh my god, we'd be crying ourselves laughing half the time because Sean Cullen, oh my god, the guy is absolutely outrageous. He's probably one of the funniest comedian comics that I've ever listened to ever in my entire life. He even wrote a couple of books that were just absolutely insane. They were so funny. Oh, I need to go to another Yuck Yuck festival.
Yeah, my parents go to comedy shows quite often, so they're pretty into comedy and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I've been to a few. They're okay. And the moment you hear the same guy say the same bit 3 times, you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm just, it's no longer funny. But I'm glad.
We went to Trevor Noah's show in Chicago
Mhm.
this past year, and he was pretty good live.
Well, these are local people we're talking about. Our company actually sponsors a lot of these comedy clubs.
That's the last one I've went to. I also recommend and eventually want to see Steve Hofstetter live.
Mm.
He's a pretty good comedian, and he's well known for putting hecklers in their place.
Got ya.
That always makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of Gabriel Iglesias. That's always been one of my favorites. Or Fluffy.
Definitely. Yeah, I like his impressions and stuff like that.
Well, why do you think I pulled you over, son? Because you can smell it? Because he had donuts in his car. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I love fat guy humor. Being a fat guy, I love it. Oh.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, food is good.
So
I only got a short time on the planet.
Yeah, that's true. So obviously, there's not a lot of gaming news because we were just like I said, I figured this would happen. So, so Sasha, did you get time to play anything this week, or were you all just work?
I did.
Oh, you look so excited.
Yeah. So I saw a couple months ago a trailer for a game called Road 96, and I really, really wanted to play it, but I was like, do I want to pay $20 for this? I don't know.
Right.
So I waited. And then it released for Xbox maybe like a month ago, and I still waited because I'm like, this has Game Pass energy.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, it came out on Game Pass. So I downloaded it, and I did get to play it. I played for 4 episodes. It's really cool. It's a little bit different than what I expected it to be, but basically what it is it is a period piece set in 1996. You're in, I think, the United States. I'm not quite sure, but it's not called the United States.
Sure.
Hold on one second. The dog wants out. Can't really remember what the country is called, but it's given me real like, hasn't been an apocalypse, but there's definitely been a fall of the United States government. There's still a president, but it's like a dictator.
Yeah.
And they're taking everybody's rights away, and all of the teenagers are trying to cross the Canadian border. And they're trying to get to this road called Road 96, which gets them to the border, but it's heavily, heavily guarded. So far, I've only made it across the border once, and to do that, I pretended to be like a nationalist and that I wanted to work abroad and got this work contract. Every other time I've been arrested, either because I was exhausted and I didn't eat enough, or I could only find rotten food, or I almost made it through the border. I failed the 3rd border check. I was really upset about that one. But what's cool is that, so you start off, it's like the beginning of June in 1996, and you play your character through to whatever your ending is. Your next character starts in the 2nd episode, and it picks up right where your last character left off that day, but you're somewhere completely different in the country, and you have your own like road trip to take. So you can hitchhike. Sometimes you start off in a car, you might be on a bus, you might be walking, and it's random. If you have money, if you have energy, which is your sleep and food and drink, all kind of combined together. So it's been really fun.
That's awesome.
That sounds like your kind of game. Talk your way out of it.
Would you say you're getting your kicks on Road 96?
Yes, I am. And also, I think someone's trying to kill me. Yeah, there's this creepy dude who I've randomly encountered with all of my characters at some point, and he tried to burn me alive in a bus with one of my characters.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so then when I saw him with the next character, I was like freaking out, trying to tell everybody, and they're like, relax, it's fine. It's, it's whatever. I'm like, it is not fine.
In a previous life, he tried to burn me alive. You don't understand.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It sounded like a really fun game when you started talking about it, and then you're like, oh man, this is a dire situation.
Oh yes, and also there's a serial killer.
And then it got worse because there's also a serial killer after you. Holy
yeah,
cow.
there's like a group that's rioting against the government. And then there's very much a Fox News type person, journalist that you keep encountering in a limousine. Um, yeah, it's very
Okay.
interesting.
A good social commentary game. Okay. All right. It's kind of reminded me of one of those movies I used to really like, Interstate 60. I'm sure none of you have seen it. Um
No, I don't think
Nope.
so.
it was, I don't know why it doesn't feel very obscure cuz it's got like Amy Smart, it's got Christopher Lloyd, it's got like some big actors in there. And then the main character is James Marsden, who, you know, with Cyclops in the '90s X-Men movies. He's
Mhm.
been in Hop. He's been in recently in the Sonic movies. He's the sheriff. Like
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
like
Oh, I think he was also in what was that one Disney movie where a cartoon princess ends up in the real world,
Enchanted.
finds true love. Yeah, I think that's the one. Yes, I think that is the movie. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't he like Prince Charming?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
Basically, because I think in that he's like a real boy in the actual world, and she's like a princess from like some
right.
universe.
Yeah, some
Well,
magical fairy tale land and shit. And like when she comes to the real world, she's like able to like summon all the wildlife, like kind of like how Snow White does, just by singing the "Ah," and
yeah,
then she just gets a bunch of like pigeons and cockroaches and rats and a whole bunch of like other like awful New York pest just to come and clean her house for her.
yeah.
Oh, what a great movie!
So Interstate 60 is like, it's from 2004, and it's about like this mythical highway that doesn't exist. And I thought, like, I was getting those kind of vibes when you first started talking about this game, because it's like this fun like thought experiment, like trippy movie. And then you're just like, but it's like ruined America and there's a serial killer. Like, no, no, it's no longer this. It's no longer this is very dire.
It's no
It's
longer
like
the quaint
the
video
road.
game I thought it would be.
It's
um,
not
There's
quite the
lives
road
on the line.
either. It's so not, there hasn't been any war recently. Something happened 10 years prior where there was a revolution.
oh, okay,
But not a good kind of revolution. It was a bad kind of revolution.
gotcha.
And then it changed the whole political spectrum. I did get to mess up a political rally as well. That was really fun.
Ooh.
Oh, that sounds. I might check it out. We I have a list of games that are stacking up because I refuse to play anything other than Sunbreak right now. Um,
Same.
I
Same.
think I put 70 hours in since it started, like because of all the time. Like I think it's 70. Um, that's a lot of hours in like a week.
Yeah.
But again, it's been taking care of family stuff and playing games and taking like, I had one work trip this week, so
Don't worry,
um
Capcom. I'll bail you out at half rate.
well, so the funeral and stuff we're actually counting as vacation and stuff like that, like, family bereavement or whatever. But in our code, it's only vacation. So it looks weird on our timesheet, but we actually have time in for that. So I'm not like not getting paid for what's happening, but I also try to work when I can. Um, but yeah, so like I have a list that's that there's a couple games that came out that I was like, yes, I want to get this, but it's gonna wait. So I've got like a list of games that are sitting right now, including Mass Effect, because I didn't get to it before Rise, before Sunbreak.
I have Mass Effect news.
Oh,
I have
yeah?
Mass Effect news. Yeah.
Oh, share us, yes.
It's a little bit, but so the Deus Ex writer, Mary DeMarle, who also worked on Guardians of the Galaxy,
The new
I think
one?
you liked that one.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. It was good.
They have hired her to work on the Mass Effect sequel as the senior narrative director. So
Interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
I will say,
I thought so too.
It was a really good story, and I very much agree with their decision to give it the video game story of the year for the Video Game Awards, the best narrative. However, I do understand that's why it's the only thing it won, because the gameplay was boring. Like, I was playing it to see the story, which is not a normal thing for me, because the story was so good. But my goodness, I did not want to play that game. Like, playing that game was a slog.
So then it makes sense why she got hired, because Mass Effect is known for its story.
Right.
So, speaking of games in the pipeline, recently Andrea made the request of me to give me it for God of War Ragnarok.
Sorry,
so
I just heard my kid do
that'll be in the pipeline.
When you did the give me it, my mind went somewhere completely different, and I don't even know if it's school appropriate. But when you do this, it might be a little suggestive.
Yeah, maybe. It's just a little kid going, "Give me."
We do how we do.
Give me.
Then I've also got Callisto Protocol, which I'm interested in.
Yeah, that's the Dead Space.
And still possibly the Dead Space remake.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I have not seen anything that is discouraging me from wanting to invest in it. And then possibly buying it for the third or fourth time, but with new upgraded graphics and game mechanics, the Last of Us remake that Naughty Dog is doing. Uh-oh.
Well, what is there?
Child death battle?
That was a big thump.
Oh, no.
Keep talking. I'm going to check to see what's going on.
As my girlfriend would refer to them as the crotch goblins. Oh,
jeez. No, I figure it's just child death battle going on right now.
Yeah,
CC and Emery are having it out. They've found the battle axes and the shields, and now they're having at it.
Oh, Mortal Kombat Mini. Yes, that actually sounds like a really fun time. If I ever have kids, that's a big if, I'm gonna just go to Walmart and just buy a whole bunch of styrofoam weapons and get like some trash can shields and just let the kids just have at it. Just just tucker yourselves out.
You know what I think would be funny? A lot of games out there have like the big head mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it'd be funny if they incorporated physics into that, where your head just flops over one way or another, depending on where you're going. So, like, imagine playing the Arkham games as Batman, and your head's just like flopping over while you're like punching bad guys and stuff and battling them.
That would be so funny. Oh my god.
Are we talking like the Wiggler helmet?
No, I was saying, I think it'd be funny how in games, if they have the big head mode, where your head gets to like 4 to 5 times its normal size, if that actually had like real physics to it, then had weight, so like your head just flops over one way or another, depending on where you're going.
Let's not talk about real physics on that, because that would just snap your neck.
I just want the headset to be like fully customizable, to the point where it looks like it's like a balloon on top of like a stick figure made out of toothpicks.
I mean, that reminds me of that big
would
head
just
mode
make
on Turok.
Big mode on steroids. It's like the big of big, That's pristine gameplay right there. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you would get the crazy death animations on Turok in big head mode, and it looks so janky. Not just because it's an N64 game, but also
It would just break the camera, like just break the third-person camera. It would just be like, we cannot track this. Where is the head? The camera would be inside the model, just be like that big.
because of the way the graphics were, right? They were just, you know, these weird shaped things, right? They were sort of angular, right? So they just made it bigger. They didn't like fix any angles or anything. So you had these like super blocky heads that were even blockier. And like when you
Oh
blow
my
half of it
God.
off, it looks like it's a bunch of triangles there that are left. Like
Just a bunch of misshapen polygons.
yeah.
The ultimate gore. Oh.
I was gonna say I did forget a huge news story that I wanted to bring up, and I don't know why I forgot it. AGDQ was this past week, and Awesome Games Done Quick, and that's a huge. If you're unaware, audience or anyone, this is a charity event for speedrunning of games. Now, personally, I don't like to speedrun games. I like to take my time, but they do it for charity. Doctors Without Borders is their summer one, and they raised over $2 million this year.
Nice.
That's excellent.
They have some, and it's on YouTube. You can watch all the past runs, but they also do it live on Twitch. I would say they're an awesome charity organization that does a lot of things, not just for speedrunning games and stuff, just for raising money for different charities and stuff. They have pretty soon I don't remember what it's called, but it's an all-female one supporting female developers and that kind of thing. Like charities for women and that kind of stuff. They have I don't remember what they call it, but they only have lady speedrunners doing stuff. It's a really cool thing, and there were some really awesome speedruns in there. I didn't watch them all yet, but they do have a Monster Hunter Rise speedrun in 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Whoa. Oh my God.
From start to Magnum Malo in the village in 1 hour and 10. It's very interesting.
All right.
Now,
They must have had a defender gear or something like that.
I think they did. I think they purposely made a thing where they were allowed to use DLC gear, so they didn't have to farm gear. But there was a Kaizo Super Metroid run. So like, Sasha, are you familiar with Kaizo Mario?
Nope.
It's Mario modded to be extremely hard. It's like super hard user levels for Mario before Mario Maker existed. Then they made a Kaizo.
You have to use like a whole bunch of like very, very niche like techniques and like mechanics in order to be able to even like get past like a lot of the levels. Like you have to be able to use like the spin stomp in specific sequence at like certain arcs as you're jumping and stuff like. And it gets absolutely crazy.
Bouncing off of
Mario
things,
Kaizo.
The frame you throw them, like stuff like that, like frame perfect stuff that you had to utilize in the game. So they made one for Super Metroid. They're doing that. They had a Pokemon Snap speed run. They have I think they had a Doom Eternal one. You know what? I can just, instead of just guessing, I can look it up. But there was one of the ones I watched is really awesome. They had an Ocarina of Time randomizer. So they randomized all the items and they did a tandem. I've seen them do this before. But this was the first time that they did it on this. Let me see. They did an Elden Ring playthrough. There's 2 of them. Okay, I didn't know there's 2 of them. Super Mario 64, Metroid Dread, Donkey Kong Country. I'm trying to find things that Sasha would care about.
Pupper.
Okay, there's a Borderlands 2 speed run and over an hour.
You can't come this way.
That is a big dog.
What are you doing? Oh, she's not that big. Yeah. Say hello to the camera. Yeah. Yeah. Say hi. There you go.
It's not like we don't do this.
Can I have my stool back? Yeah. Can I have that back, please? Hey,
Come
on over this way. Yeah.
There's a Metal Gear run. There's a lot Devil May Cry. There's a lot of Nintendo ones. I'm seeing a lot of Nintendo ones, and I'm trying to pick out the ones that Sasha would like.
Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask,
She's not a
Wind Waker.
There's a Halo Infinite run.
I'm looking at the schedule for the Flame Fatales.
Yeah, there you
right
go.
now.
Flame Fatales. There you go. I am really trying to find something that isn't. Oh my gosh. There's a Spyro speedrun that the girls and I watched. That was really good. Mass Effect. There you go. Mass Effect in an hour and 30.
First of all, I would love to see somebody get through the freaking Citadel in an hour.
Are we talking
Right.
like the first Mass Effect?
Yeah.
Yes,
Mass
right?
Effect
Like,
1.
Oh my god! And with the clanky controls and everything. Oh my god!
Shadow of
it's
the
gotta
Colossus.
impressive.
be. It's gotta be remastered. It's gotta be remastered.
Probably, yeah.
I won't know unless I click on the video and start watching it.
I don't think I could go back after playing remastered.
The first game is so goddamn janky. I started off with number 2. My brother played number 2, and then he went to 3, and then he played the first one just to see what it was
Oh,
like. And
that
then,
hurts.
oh my god, it was just brutal. Oh my god!
Yeah, there's so many that I want to see. So like these aren't ones that Sasha would watch maybe, but I want to watch the old GameCube Lord of the Rings Return of the King run through. Like I loved that game.
Oh, that was a good. Wait, was Gollum like the last bad guy at the end of that one?
I don't.
I think he
remember.
was.
He could have been. Yeah.
And I think if you beat the campaign, you can replay it, or at least play sequences of it, but you can choose what character you play as.
Yes.
And I remember picking Gandalf an awful lot of the time, because it was really, really fun to do so. So having, like, Gandalf and Legolas, or, like, Aragorn, you know, just beating the absolute shit out of Gollum is probably one of the funniest things ever, but he was still such an insanely tough boss despite that, because they give you, like, Hobbit handicaps, I guess? I don't know.
Hobbit handicaps. Power Slave Exhumed, which Power Slave is an old boomer shooter that, you know, stuff I like. Gosh, there's a Little Mermaid speed run in 7 minutes. The Little Mermaid for NES. I watched that with the kids.
Wow.
Celeste, of course. Yeah, Doom Eternal. I mentioned that. Donkey Kong Country. Pokemon Shining Pearl speed run in 4 hours.
Oh my god.
That doesn't feel like a speed run to say 4 hours, but yeah, it's there. Yeah, there's all sorts of crazy games and things they do. Like the one I watched, the Ocarina of Time randomizer. It's such interesting. Being a fan of Ocarina of Time, you know, which I know, Sasha, you don't like Zelda, but you know the having played it a bunch and 100% in it, knowing where everything is really cool. But then if you just randomize whatever thing's there and try to speed run it, it's really cool to see two people, because they have two people running it. They actually had a husband and wife team, and they were telling each other, okay, go get this, okay, go check this, see if this what's here, that kind of thing. It was really interesting to see. I love randomizers too. Randomizers are so fun. Like once you know a game in and out, and just randomize everything, it's so good.
Speaking of randomizers, I'm actually currently playing a Pokemon Crystal randomizer where not only are everybody's teams randomized, but they're also scaled, so in that way their base stats of the randomized Pokemon match what they would have had normally. I'm also playing with Gen 5 experience, so the higher your level of Pokemon versus the opponents that you're fighting, the more difficult it is to grind. Randomized TMs, randomized learn sets, with I think 40% in favor of the Pokemon. So there's Exeggutors that you can catch in the wild in like a range that no Whirlpool for some strange reason. There's Igglybuffs that no Hyper Beam. What was it? Lance's team consisted of I think a Scyther that had Sky Attack. Oh god, yeah, he had some crazy ones. I think he had a Blissey with Earthquake, which was really strange to deal with, and a Meganium that had Guillotine, that was just knocking all my Pokemon out left, right, and center. Yeah, it was just absolutely insane. I think Jasmine. Oh yeah, there was another thing that I added into it is that all the levels are cranked up by 10%. So Jasmine would have normally have had a level 35 Steelix. Instead, what she had was a level 39 Charizard that had Sacred Fire, Fire Blast, Arrow Blast, and Sunny Day. Basically, the most destructive wall breaker I'd ever dealt with, because even though I had like a lantern at a decent level, she would be constantly setting it to, the day to be like, with harsh sunlight. So any resistances that my lantern had, gone. And then on top of that, constantly burning me all the time. So it'd be chipping me away even as I'm like fighting him. And it was just absolutely ridiculous. Oh my god. Belly Drum Miltank. Oh my god. Belly Drum Miltank is probably the most stupid thing I've ever had to deal with. Or Skullbash Granbull. And Granbull also had Flamethrower. So Steelix didn't do very well against that matchup. Oh, yeah. I thought it was really funny catching up. I think it was a Weedle that knew Mind Reader as one of its earliest moves, and then I got a TM from one of the earliest gyms for Guillotine. So Mind Reader Guillotine shenanigans. Why not?
Right. Okay.
That game was so fun. Oh.
Yeah, it makes me kind of want to look into playing some randomizers.
Honestly, yeah. If you want to go back to an old game. If you want to go back to an old game and then like to have like, a renewed and refreshing experience with the game, highly recommend a randomizer because it just completely turns everything on its head. Everything that you knew about Pokemon games just out the window. You are learning the game as you play it. And that makes it so much more enjoyable. It's like rediscovering the game all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
I get it. Yeah. So I guess for me, if I were to do a randomizer, I think it would probably be something like Ocarina of Time, or maybe even Pokemon, an earlier one. So Sasha, if you could randomize a game, what would you play?
Probably would be a Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's just so many possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd never get the same game.
Yeah, you would
exactly.
Not. Ace, what would you randomize? We already know Gen 3 Pokemon for
I think I'd probably randomize a Monster Hunter game.
Sounds like an awesome idea. Random material drops. Random element types.
Randomize the elements that the monsters have and randomize the attacks that they can use. Randomize the elements and status effects of the weapons and the affinity levels and things like that.
Okay. Yeah, and then randomize all the material drops.
If you're lucky, you could get a sword that has like lightning poison paralysis and like 3,000 damage, and then there could be like a Kutku that has like Teostra's supernova.
Yeah, I get what you. That was that'd be, to me, my brain was harder to wrap around that as a randomizer than something like Zelda where they just remove the items, or Pokemon, they just move
oh my Pokemon. God.
Huh.
Like, obviously you need to create animations for some of the moves, but I could definitely see the hilariosity that would come from that, especially like a Kutku pulling like a supernova. Just
oh my God.
Launches a fireball and it just hits the ground and poof. Like as big as the mortar in the Rampage arenas.
Oh my God. Oh, could you imagine that? Like yeah, a Kutku that had like Dread King moves, so then it could like shoot the meteorite out of its mouth and it just blows everything up? That'd be a great first fight. Oh my God. Ooh. It's almost as bad as, I think there was like a G3 mission where you had to fight a Kutku naked in Freedom Unite. I think, yeah. That is a hilarious G3 mission.
A Devil Joe or a Rajang that can go invisible.
Ooh, I was going to say a Xeno'jiva that can dig like a Diablos.
Now that's awesome. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, there's so many options.
But yeah, games done quick. They have their every summer they do this event for Doctors Without Borders, and they raise $2 million. More than, I don't know the final total, but I know they breached the $2 million mark. Having watched one of them, one of the later speedruns, which was the Kaizo Super Metroid that I watched, which was interesting because Kaizo is normally a Mario thing, and then someone applied it to Super Metroid, and it's like, oh, okay, how does this work? Apparently, it's Super Metroid with super harder levels and fake items that kill you, and you can't get hit once.
Oh my god, that sounds fantastic!
I was already out when I heard Metroid Dread Hell Mode or whatever that was.
Dread Mode.
I was like,
Dread Mode, where you can't get hit. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, kill. Yeah, that's not an option for me.
I beat that game fair and square. I'm good. I don't need to play that game in one-hit mode. No way. Like,
I still need to get that. I still need to get that game so bad. I've already convinced my girlfriend's brother to get Sunbreak. Well, actually, to get Rise first, and then Sunbreak. After showing him a whole bunch of like all the trailers and the teasers, like in person, he's just looking at it with his eyes just popping out of his skull. He's just like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's Gormagala." And he's like, "That thing is so cool. What's with all the purple fire and everything?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's its new unique mechanic. It's able to produce virus and stuff like that." And he's like, "What? Frenzy virus? This is cool!" And then he sees the fight with what was it, Shaguru Magala, like just grabs that Sword Geos out of the sky and then just plows it right into the Barioth, and he's like, "Oh, I need to get this game!"
Yeah.
So then he buys then he buys his Rise, and I'm like, "Dude, you've got to get Sunbreak." And he's like, "If only I had the money." And so I looked at my girlfriend. I'm like, "Trina, we're going to get this boy Sunbreak. We got to get him some gift cards." And then that was when we went on our crazy escapade, looking every store that we could to try and get Nintendo gift cards. And Walmart was the only place that had them, so I don't know.
I guess.
Oh, you guys are going through a shortage of that?
Yeah, he was talking about
think
that
so.
earlier. Yeah.
These mosquitoes are getting worse. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Nintendo gift cards. Leads me to some sort of conspiracy.
It's a Canadian
Our
thing.
stores have them in stock, so I guess Canada is getting shafted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awfully miffed about it.
I mean, the only place to buy them where I'm at is either Walmart or the game store I go to. That's it, period.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess there is a GameStop that I don't go to, but
I mean, we got Targets, but we all know how Target Canada went.
Yeah, it came and went faster than Zellers. I loved Zellers. Oh, what a great store. But yeah, and then introducing Darren to Sunbreak, he was having one heck of a time. He was having a lot of fun, and like he's the kind of kid who like plays a lot, and pretty much he's played all the Soulsborne's games, and he, I think, beat Elden Ring. And so then when I introduced him to Sunbreak, yeah, his first hunt where I think he went into the hub and he decided he was going to fight Agnesom there in the base equipment with base switch axe. He didn't beat it, but he was having one heck of a time. He was loving that game, and he was really loving switch axe. And
yeah,
like
by the way,
it just clicked with him.
Speedrun used switch axe because of the the blast you get on their head. I get
Zero sum discharge.
Yeah.
Let me guess.
Yeah,
I knew it. Yep.
I don't play that one, so I don't know it. Unfortunately, Mark, we've been trying to get Sasha into Monster Hunter. She just doesn't have time for it yet.
Oh, well, you are really going to enjoy it. I mean, there's nothing quite like... I think one of the aspects of this game that you're really going to appreciate is the fashion. The fashion hunting is the best part. You get to customize your character to look however you want. There are people who actually cosplayed some of their characters to I think one of them actually made him look like Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. I was like really impressed with that. I was like, no way, they did it. They made him look like Piccolo. That was so cool.
Yeah, in World there were people that were making themselves look like Piccolo, Frieza, Pikachu.
Yeah.
Insane.
Oh, the Pikachu. I think it was like a Pikachu Tommy Wiseau. That was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Oh, hi, doggy. Yeah. Oh, by the way, how's your...
Jeez.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We lose him.
Canadian connection.
Did he Tommy Wiseau too hard and just disconnected?
That's what he meant to do. It was intentional.
Yes. So yeah. Yeah, it's an awesome charity. I'll probably watch some of the Flame Fatale runs. I don't watch everything they do because
doing this thing called Jail Hammer. Oh yeah.
He's
It's
back.
great.
We completely did not hear anything you just said. It cut out pretty hard.
Oh no! That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I was saying I think you Tommy Wiseau too hard and the internet just shat itself.
Yep. They just said nope. You're not allowed to talk about the room. Yeah, I was like, you need that intermission because even though you're heckling it, time with it, it is exhausting to watch. It is so bad that it's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm supposed to next coming. So I was supposed to happen Wednesday, but we didn't do it. So this next Wednesday, I am introducing Starship Troopers to a bunch of people at the game store. So we're gonna stay after the store closes on Wednesday, and we're gonna do a Starship Troopers watch party because one of the owners and one of the employees have not seen it. And my good buddy, who's one of the owners, is like, "You guys need to see this." So we're doing a big order pizza, sit down in the game store, and watch Starship Troopers.
That sounds so fun.
I am so excited to do it.
Somebody has got to also bring Starship Troopers Roughnecks because that series was a really, really fun cartoon series. Really, really good.
I didn't see it. I've seen all the movies, even the animated ones, but I haven't seen the show.
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
The reason why this came up, Morg, I don't know if you know, but there was a Starship Troopers RTS that released this month, and
really,
yeah, and I've played it.
Oh, that's cool.
And beat it already. Like it was one of my bucket list things before Sunbreak came out. So I was like, I gotta finish this. I want to.
I think it's going to be right up there with what is it? There's the new Space Marines game, like Warhammer 40K.
Yes.
I think it's Space Marines 2. Yeah, that game looks really, really good, actually. Like, surprisingly good. And the fact that you get to fight the Tyranids in this one, ooh, finally, it's not orcs. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be great.
So, I don't know. I have got nothing else to say tonight. We are scraping the bottom barrel of news and stuff at this point. I don't think GDQ is a bad place to talk about, but I don't have anything else. Ace, do you have any other stories? No,
not in particular.
Sasha, did we use all yours?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And Morg?
Well, I mean, Amber Heard shat the bed, and Johnny Depp won the court case. Biden said, "Say it again." What else is? I don't know. I'm hoping that the house market crashes, so that way I can afford a house without having to pay too big of a mortgage or worrying about interest rates.
I've been looking at a house too. It's not a good time. I am, like I was saying, I was waiting for my child support case to go through Thursday, which I didn't think about that because that was the day of the funeral. But yeah, I will hear soon how that went, and it probably got thrown out because it didn't have it. There's one thing I didn't provide, and I don't know. Either way, it's going to come back. I had to pay more, less, or the same. And either way, I'm still looking for a house when I have that information.
Yep. Other than that, driver's ed course on Sunday, and then possibly road test on Wednesday. So license,
Awesome.
hopefully.
Nice.
And I just need a car, and then we're Gucci, bruh.
Yeah.
Copacetic.
So,
Then you'll need to get the passport if you don't already have it, and then you can come and visit us.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
Canada
Let's
seems a
just-
little better than what we got going on here in the United States. Just saying.
let's just wait until the vaccine mandates drop, so then that way I don't have to worry about taking 9 shots, and then then we're good. Because honestly, is everybody else tired of the needles? I mean,
mm-hmm.
Not a big deal.
Yeah,
my arm's getting sore, bro.
I mean, yeah, for like a
More
day or
than-
two, and then it's gone.
It's more just trying to find the time for the big nap I have to take after.
Oh yeah, I got a full-on flu symptom after both of my
Mhm.
shots. Like I was just like out.
It was legitimately the sickest I've been in several years was after my second shot.
Yeah. Well, no,
You guys
legitimately sickest I've been is when I
did not have
actually
fun.
had COVID. That was pretty bad. But
Well, yeah, here that's pretty bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's weird, because, like, let me just double check, because I got my wallet on me and I got my card with me. Even though it doesn't fit in the wallet because they designed it poorly. Yeah, I got... My first 2 were Pfizer and then Moderna, and none of them... My only real after symptom was just, like, sore arm for, like, a day or 2. I don't know why you guys got your shit rocked with
I
all
had-
the other stuff that you guys had.
I experienced a lot of really odd symptoms, including a complete disruption of my menstrual cycle for months.
Ooh.
Wow.
It was weird. That
Then
seemed
I
to
w-
be the case with almost all of the women I worked with at the time too. So
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, Andrea did have some side effects too, so...
Oh,
yeah,
I was
it
was a full-blown flu. The crazy thing for when I actually had COVID was it wasn't even like most people are like, "Oh, it's flu symptoms." It felt like I was swallowing glass constantly. Like it just like my throat was shot. And I don't know how, but we did not miss an episode because of me having COVID. Like it happened like right in the right time frame that I just didn't miss an episode. I don't know
Yeah.
how, but yeah, so and it was after I had the shots too. So that was good, I guess. Not good that I got it, but the symptoms were supposedly going to be a lot easier.
worse.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here for tonight. So next week we're gonna do a full Monster Hunter episode. Sasha will probably not be joining us for that, because it is our third week out of the month. So, and then after that we'll have a wild card, and then after that I still may or may not be going on a trip because everything got screwed up. So we may not have an episode in 2 weeks, or we may. I don't think we are, but my family
We'll
and
see.
their crazy vacation stuff that we've been dealing with, and then also the other family stuff. So, and mom has since she lost her mother, she's been like, we need to spend more time together. So I don't think I'm getting out of this vacation. I don't think that's happening. So we may not have an episode for the 5th weekend this month, but we will continue after that with quiz number 9, which I'll have to give you guys the study guide 2 weeks early again, just so I can get it. Yeah, you guys can actually get that stuff on lockdown. So Morg,
I'm done studying.
You're
I
done.
do better when I don't study. Yeah.
Okay,
just gonna
I will
wing
still
it.
give you
It's
the
like
years.
college.
What you do with that information is up to you. If it's nothing at all, fine. I'm excited to see how Morg does, because Morg has been pretty good popping off in chat with some of the answers. So
Well, I mean, like you guys give me you guys get all the questions for like all these like 2003, 2004 games or like 1990 something or whatever, and these are all games from my childhood that I've been playing, or they're games that I've been playing on emulator. So I have a tendency to kind of know the answer to
I'll
most
just
of
write
these.
the years down on the ceiling and then write down a bunch of games from that year.
He's
Yeah.
gonna be like thinking all the time, like,
Could it be this one?
What? What am I
hold on,
thinking?
I think it's
I think it could be.
Oh no.
It's either C, B, or D.
It'd be like,
I pick D. No, C. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe A.
oh man.
Or just like have a computer behind my phone that I record off of and just be like, wait, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, this.
Yeah. I see. I'll have to watch what Ace is doing. He's like, I've had it. I've had the taste of glory once. I need it. I need it again.
Won't have his way to cheat on stream. It's just like, just give me a second. I'm just texting on my phone. Just let my girlfriend know that everything's okay. And then be later, 5 minutes later, I'm just ordering a pizza. I'm not on Google, I swear, guys.
No, that
Just
pizza
order a
wasn't good.
pizza.
I'm ordering another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna order another one.
This one's
No,
from Pizza Hut. The last
yeah.
one was from Domino's.
Domino's.
We don't. I mean, I do have choice. Like we normally do Papa John's here, and I totally pulled a slogan on the girls the other day because Cece was like, "Hey, so why is Papa John's the best pizza?" I was like, "Better ingredients, better pizza," and she was like,
Oh my god.
she was like, "Oh, that sounds really smart." And I was
Not
like, "It's
accord-
literally their slogan."
Not according to Papa John Schnatter.
Papa John's.
Oh my god, yeah.
Apparently, after those 40 pizzas in 30 days, he said the ingredient quality has gone down, and as he's like basted in sweat.
Wow.
That interview did not make him look good at all.
Meat sweats. The quality has gone down. I can't eat 40 pizzas in 30 days like I used to. Falls over.
I like apparently it's called, I did not know this for a long time, but people call Pizza Hut and Papa John's Ohio pizza. Like that was a thing.
Really?
That was a thing that I learned from people from South America. They're like, "Oh, you have Ohio pizza." I was like, "Well, we are in Ohio." I don't what? And they're like, no. We call this style Ohio pizza, and I'm like, okay, it's just pizza. It's not like New York style, and it's not Chicago. It's like between the two. And they're like, yeah, like Ohio, and I'm like, oh.
Oh my god.
I was like, okay, I get it now.
By the way, I just love the whole stupidity around that controversy with him getting removed as like the CEO, where he's like, no, I didn't get removed because I said the N-word during the conference. I got removed because I said that I don't use the N-word during the conference by saying the N-word. And it's just like, so you say the N-word. Why not just not say the N-word? Like, I don't use that, say I don't use that language.
How did pizza
instead of
become
saying,
political? How does this happen to me?
I don't know, man. We're living in a very weird time. I'm just gonna say that much.
well, it was... Are you actually being serious, or
Yeah, I did not know about this. I am being 100% serious.
So it was largely during the whole Colin Kaepernick thing and the protests that were going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, because he was calling for like ends to the protests or whatever, and he was like getting on Roger Goodell and stuff. And I guess during like a conference call or something, like people were addressing
CEO
like
of a pizza company.
Well, like I think people were alleging that like he was racist or something, and he was trying to defend himself. And in defending himself, he was like, "I don't say the N-word," but he like said the N-word.
Oh my
And it's
god.
like, why would you do that? That's just saying the word. Like,
So there are people that I know that don't like to say it, but they will say it in the context of not being afraid of the word itself. It's very weird. I'm not saying that they say. I'm not going to out anybody, but they're like, it's an ill-advised tactic, but they do it.
I would say, at least in my opinion, the only acceptable reason that I would have to say it is in an academic sense, and since I'm no longer in college, I just won't be doing that. So,
I mean, I have some friends
can you do?
Who liberally say it and feel they have the right to. I don't.
And that's your own friend group, so that's your guys' own thing.
I have said it to shock those friends once in a while because they are black, but like that's it. That's only ever. That is.
You're gonna get canceled.
Right, but
I don't know.
Those same friends.
I mean,
those same friends do say the word at times, and I'm just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's like, no, what? But then again, I mean, we live in a weird time where the Ice Bucket Challenge evolved into the Tide Pod Challenge, and then to the Lick the Toilet Bowl on an Airplane Challenge. I don't know, like, things just get, go to the extreme, unnecessarily so, and to a point where it's absolutely life-risking. Like, I don't know.
So I think we should stick to our guns and
not
conclude the episode like we were going to do about 15-20 minutes ago before we spell it off.
I was going to say, we should just live our normal, happy lives, in a suburban lifestyle where we've got a nice station wagon or something like that, or like a BMW.
My first car was a station wagon, and it was terrible. And I called it the chick wagon because I was getting nobody with that car.
Buy that shitty vehicle, raise 3 kids. Get a big dog.
In the winter, I had to scrape the outside and the inside because the window didn't close all the way.
Oh my god!
I actually won senior worst car.
Oh wow!
And I did the Burt Reynolds pose on top of it. That was fun.
It's almost as bad as the Volkswagen Jetta that we had at one point, where like the locking mechanisms on the car did not work. So during the summer season, anybody could break into that vehicle. Not like we cared. We couldn't give the damn thing away. But then during the winter, the doors would freeze shut. So you'd have to crawl out of the window. It was just the most ridiculous vehicle ever.
So I will say there was something funny with my car recently. So Chance needed in my trunk because sometimes we keep some work tools in the trunk. And he goes to close the trunk and it just goes, and it comes back up when he closes it. And he was like, okay. So he closes it again really hard. He's like, all right, cool. Now my trunk doesn't lock and or close. I constantly have a trunk open sign on my car because it is indeed open. You can just take your finger and open up my trunk now forever. I don't know how he did it, but he broke my trunk.
Nice.
So, there was a lot of electrical problems wrong with my car too, and I fixed most of them by replacing some fuses recently, but not all of them. My turn signal works only if my lights are on. My right turn signal. If I turn my lights off, it doesn't work. So...
All right.
That just made me think about Chauncey breaking my trunk this week.
Nice.
What have you done?
I got home and we just got back from doing something, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "I don't know. Bozo here broke my trunk." I was mostly.
Oh no.
Around, but yeah.
Speaking of Bozo, oh my gosh! Sometimes what is it? One of our neighbors who lives up the hill, one of the crazy hicks. Whenever somebody is just absolutely lead-footing it in one of their vehicles or whatever, and he's on the road, just absolutely raging at him, he'll just scream out just the top of his lungs, "Fucking clown shoe!" And it just has me thinking of like what it would be like to actually go out and then like wear like size 32 shoes, trying to actually like kick the pedals on. Oh my god, it just makes me laugh my ass off every time I'm thinking about it.
I mean,
Oh,
we've got a couple people across the street that seem to need to have their cars sound like their engines are exploding at all times of the day.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah. It's,
backburn.
That's a normal thing out here in the country, is people being loud and doing stuff, and I don't have the energy for it sometimes. So we will end the episode here. So thank you guys for coming on. Next week we'll talk some serious Monster Hunter. I probably will be MR 100 by that point. Maybe, I don't know. And Sasha will probably be taking a week off because she hasn't been indoctrinated quite yet. We'll see. We're still working on it.
Soon, very soon.
Everyone says that, and
yes.
she hasn't budged. So we'll see. But while we like her, she has so many other opinions of other games that we don't play, so I like that. So don't worry about it.
You need that contrast, you know? Add some diversity, a little bit of spice, you know?
We do. Especially the Xbox part, because she knows I just don't have an Xbox. I haven't had one since, 2010 is when I had mine. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so thank you guys for listening. Be sure to catch us at HunterSubPod on Twitter and here on Twitch. And be sure to join the Discord if you want to talk to everybody. You can find Ace at Ace Badger Gaming also on Twitter. You'll see some Monster Hunter stuff that I've been doing. I've been doing, not posting as much because of the family stuff, but you will see the three monsters I've already crown hunted on accident that we've done. One of
Nice.
Oh, I've already got a huge backlog of screen caps and videos that is going to be going up once I decide to take some time and do that.
I posted 3 videos, I think. I've already crowned Daimyo Hermitar and Blood Orange Bishitan and Gormagala. Those 3.
Oh, you crowned Bob.
Yes, I crowned Bob. I like
Blood
that.
Orange Bishitan Bob.
Gotcha.
Bob's your uncle.
I got it.
A monkey's uncle. Oh,
yep.
Connecting the dots.
And Gore was a happy accident. Gormagala was a happy accident. But my brother and I will continue playing tonight while the kids are playing Minecraft or something, because they just won't go to bed now. It's 11 o'clock. They're still going to be up. So, be sure to join the Discord to talk to us as well. And we'll see you guys next week. So, see ya.
Take care.
Hi.
Bye.